No, earned a win last night. Indiana Pacers. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria, producer of the show, as always. By the way, happy National Donut Day.
I know.
Go enjoy a donut here, folks.
We didn't get to one-timer that I had made that I was excited for, but I think it might come up in the show just organically.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. We'll get to it. But talking about wins, again, last night, the Indiana Pacers get a last-second win. 0.3 seconds left. Tyrese Haliburton hits a 21-footer. Gives the Indiana Pacers a 110-109 win on the road in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And what he's been able to do this postseason in the final 5 seconds of games is pretty remarkable. So in the final 5 seconds of either regulation or overtime, this postseason alone, the final 5 seconds, on shot attempts to either tie the game or take the lead, Tyrese Haliburton is 4 of 4. That's stupid. Like, it's insane. We can think about, like, no way perfect from it. Mm-hmm. It's hard enough to make one, because you look at the rest of the NBA, they're 3 of 16 in those same situations. He's ridiculous. 4 of 4. The rest of the league this postseason, just 3 of 16 in those situations. He's 4 of 4.
He outdid them with less opportunity, too.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It's like, give me the rock, coach.
Yeah.
So I was looking at last night's game. And when I watch games, and I know I'm going to talk about them on air, whether it's a hockey game, football game, different things like that, I always like to just take notes of just moments that stand out in my head. 15-point lead in the fourth quarter for Oklahoma City with just under 10 minutes to go. And I thought to myself, like, all right, Oklahoma City, they'd always have maintained the lead throughout the game. The only time that Indiana led was that shot by Haliburton with 0.3 seconds left. That's the only time they led the whole game. But when they took that 15-point lead in the fourth quarter, it's about 10 minutes ago, I was like, okay, this is, you always hear in sports having that killer instinct. Like, okay, where's the dagger? Put teams away when you have the opportunity. And Oklahoma City didn't do that last night. And also, you got to give credit to Indiana, obviously, as well. They chipped away. They out-rebounded Oklahoma City. They shot better from 3 than Oklahoma City. So you have to give credit where credit is certainly due. But there was a moment, I thought, late in the game that really, I thought, in my eyes, would have sealed it for Oklahoma City. With about 90 seconds left, Lou Dort plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder, comes up on the defensive end, gets a block right there at the rim. Then immediately goes the Oklahoma City Thunder go down the court. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets a bucket soon right after that. So again, we're talking a minute 30 left, roughly around that, maybe a little bit less. But as opposed to being up 108-107, if that layup goes in for Indiana, Oklahoma City is now up 110-105. Again, with 90 seconds to go. They don't score again the rest of the way. They don't score again. Chet Holmgren's missed some shots late in the game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was phenomenal, 38 points, but he himself even had a look late in the game, just didn't capitalize. And then even go back to the first half of the game. We talked to our good friend Brendan Whitted about this just a little bit ago, and you'll hear that conversation again up a little bit later on, about how in the first half, Oklahoma City probably should have been up by 20. Instead, they were up by 12. We have seen too often in sports teams let up. I know it's a human nature thing. We see it happen so often. It still boggles my mind. But we see sometimes teams let up. I'm not saying Oklahoma City did that yesterday, but when teams get a lead, they almost feel like they have to protect it. So in my mind, when I say protect, I feel like I have to like put up shields. You know, I put up walls. Again, I protect myself. As opposed to, hey, you have the advantage. Attack even stronger. Not get reckless, but attack even more. I used to coach college lacrosse. I used to tell this to my team all the time. I said, just because you have a lead doesn't mean you're holding anything precious. Now, obviously, don't be. I know there's certain situations where you want to hold on to the ball and, you know, take the air out, whatever it is that you want to do. But we saw, go back to the Final Four. Duke against Houston last year. Duke had that big lead in the second half, and Houston chipped away. I think the biggest issue, not only for Duke, was they had the trouble inbounding the basketball and all that stuff, but on the offensive end, they kind of took the air out of the ball. They slowed things down. To me, you have to continue to stay aggressive, and that's how you build your lead. That's how you put pressure on another team. You don't give them an inch. Tie it back here to the state of North Carolina. The Carolina Hurricanes, when they get a lead, generally, they lock you down. Florida Panthers, generally, when they have a lead, they lock you down. Now, obviously, there's always an exception. You're not always going to win every single time. You might be doing all the right things, but sometimes things just don't bounce your way. But at least you go out playing your game. I hope to see from younger players, like younger athletes that watch these games, is that there is a difference between skill and mentality. And that is the biggest difference that separates great players from championship players. You and I, Victoria, had a long conversation about Sam Bennett of the Florida Panthers yesterday. It's not just his skill, like it's his mindset that you need to win in the postseason. Now, is he a perfect player? No, he's not. I'd love, by the way, everyone in the comment section be like, "Oh, he's not that good." I'm like, I'm sorry. Have you seen him play in the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's what you're paying for.
If he was available.
I made the connection between him and Jesperi Kotkaniemi of the Carolina Hurricanes, and I said it's about mentality. The reason why Matthew Tkachuk is such a good player in the postseason, it's mentality. He's not the fastest skater. He's not the most skilled guy. Yeah, obviously he's a great player, and he is a very smart player, but it's about mentality. There's a reason why Brad Marchand, not the biggest guy in the world, has his name written on the cup and has gotten so far in the playoffs so many times in his career. It's about mentality. It's the reason why Martin Nate has never worked in the playoffs. It's mentality thing. Are you willing to pay the price to get to the dirty areas and do the things that you have to do in order to win in the postseason when it matters the most? Regular season sports are different than postseason. They are. It's just a different mentality. Those kinds of things matter. And I think Oklahoma City is learning how to do this at this time of year. Now, a lot of guys for the Indiana Pacers haven't been in that situation before. Pascal Siakam has. He did that with the Toronto Raptors when they won a championship a few years ago. But we're talking about young players still learning and figuring out right now. As much as we want to talk about Oklahoma City's shortcomings and everything, how they didn't shoot well from three, how they got out rebounded, how they missed out on all these opportunities they had off of turnovers from Indiana, they still only lost by a shot. It's still only a 1-point game. We're in for a heck of a series. There's a lot that they are going to learn from game 1 to game 2. Now, Indiana has home court advantage. It's totally fine. You win game 2 at home, you go on into Indiana, you take one from there. Now you're back 2-2 at home in a 3-game series. You have home court again. I just hope that, Victoria, that we have more of what we saw last night.
Yeah.
Just how absolutely fun that was to watch.
The only people that like sweeps and stuff are the fans of the team that does the sweeping.
Exactly.
That's about it.
Exactly. Yeah, if your team's doing the sweeping, you'll love it.
Then you're good. But everybody else wants games like that.
Yes. I want games like that. I want series that are played like that. And again, it's a reason why you play a series. It's the reason why you play a series. Let's not forget, Oklahoma City Thunder lost game 1 to the Denver Nuggets in the second round. Lost game 1 of that series. Came back and won it. Sit back and enjoy the ride, folks. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sit back and enjoy great games when they're out there in front of you.